This video concerns the Food and Drug Administration complaint number 8. Number 8. Now, this took me a while to put it together because it has a serious history to it. And you may have to even watch the video 2 or 3 times to really understand what you're actually looking at. It took me a lot of time to figure this one out, but I actually did. This reminds me of doing the Do-It-Yourself or Die video as well as Jay Hayes' video. It's right up there. It was very complex. Took me a lot of databases to go to, but I finally pulled it off. I could share probably about 99% of this video with you. Now, as far as the attachments, I don't share that. Those attachments will go to the Food and Drug Administration Center for Tobacco Products, and they will only be privy to those particular documents. But what you see on the complaint itself is about 99% of it is what you will see is what, of course, the FDA gets 100% of it, but 99% is pretty damn good. I mean, usually my FDA complaints you only get to see about maybe 80 or 90% of the complaint. In this one, I was able to do 99%. You could see the entire thing. Once again, this is a bit of a serious complaint because it actually involves an attorney at law. But nevertheless, like I stated, anyone that comes across my crosshairs, so to speak, is going to get nailed. Now, of course, he's just one player in the entire picture. And I'm sure he's cushioned in a lot of ways, so he's not going to sweat this one out. The company that actually created this particular product will need to really sweat this out. But nevertheless, I'm going to share it with you now. And like I said, you might have to watch it 2 or 3 times to get it. It's a bit complex in nature, and you have to understand the federal statute. And I speak to that in very clear terms. And any FDA complaint that I do put together, I am always thinking in terms of the Food and Drug Administration Center for Tobacco Products. Not only the facts that are underlying the complaint I'm concerned about as far as when they read a complaint, but also mainly the legality behind the complaint. So when I write a complaint, I think in terms of not only the facts, but I also think in terms of the law. Anyway, so let me read this to you, and then I'll end the video. And as usual, I will wait till 12:01 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will file this with the Food and Drug Administration Center for Tobacco Products. And as usual, they give me a filed number, and I will do a short video of that, as I always do, and leave it at that. And then I will move on to the next complaint number 9. Yes, they're just keep coming out with all this stuff. So I actually do have a complaint number 9, which has absolutely nothing to do with this particular complaint that I'm showing you up on the screen. But I am in the process of working on a complaint number 9, which probably will come up as soon as the product hits the market. It's just teasers out there right now on YouTube, but eventually the product will hit the U.S. markets and its territories. And then I will act. So here you are. This is the Food and Drug Administration complaint number 8. July 5th, 2019, Food and Drug Administration Center for Tobacco Products. To whom it may concern. I would like to bring this complaint from a concerned consumer to the attention of the United States Food and Drug Administration Center for Tobacco Products. Foreign and domestic companies which are manufacturing, importing, distributing, retailing, and marketing vapor products, electronic nicotine delivery system, ends or tobacco products and/or components, which have manufactured finished product dates post-August 8, 2016, without FDA marketing orders. See attachments. The following entities participate in various illegal activities by aiding and abetting foreign and domestic, respectively, so designated. The product line Q Vapor System, or Digiret. I guess that's how they do it. It's like a play off of something digital and yet like a cigarette. So it's Digiret. Digiret Incorporated in the United States markets and its territories without FDA marketing orders. Designer, manufacturer, retailer. Alexander Basile, I guess, Chief Executive Officer, located at the following address in regards to the Cure Vapor System. Marketing and distribution, and then you see the names. And this is the one that probably Matt will be interested in seeing, is Chris Howard, Vice President, General Counsel, Chief Compliance Officer for the E Alternative Solutions. All right. That's pretty much it. I mean, he's not the only one alone in this whole thing here. There's many others. So it says products. E Alternative Solutions, LLC, is marketing and distributing the Q Vapor System without exemption for substantial equivalents and or pre-market tobacco applications in accordance with the Family Smoking Prevention Tobacco Control Act of 2009, June 22, 2009, and the FDA Final Rule, May 10, 2016, effective date August 8, 2016. See attachment. Digiret Incorporated, the holder of the patent and patent pending product Q Vapor System, is the inventor or creator of this vapor device plus cartridges and e-liquid flavors, which is acting as both retailer and manufacturer. Hardware is manufactured in China. E-liquid is manufactured in the USA. Without exemption for substantial equivalence and or pre-market tobacco applications in accordance with the Family Smoking Prevention Tobacco Control Act of 2009, June 22, 2009, and the FDA Final Rule, May 10, 2016, effective date August 8, 2016. See attachment. The above listed examples show the intent and reckless disregard of the federal statute, the Family Smoking Prevention Tobacco Control Act of 2009, as well as the FDA Final Rule, because the above listed product, Q Vapor System, has a manufacturer finished product date post-August 8, 2016, without any product review on specifics listed below, that is pre-market tobacco application, substantial equivalence, and or exemption for substantial equivalence by the Food and Drug Administration and or the Center for Tobacco Products. In order to thoroughly understand the history of the Q Vapor System, sorry about those July 4th fireworks. Anyway, in order to thoroughly understand the history of the Q Vapor System, perspective is required. The following are several YouTube video links that show violations of the federal statute. I will explain each in depth according to its timeline. See attachment. Vaping V, and I exclude the YouTube channel name to the best I can, but some of you might be able to pick it up, but that's on you. But I will exclude the YouTube channels as best as possible in this particular YouTube video. But of course, the YouTube channels are supplied fully to the Food and Drug Administration, the Center for Tobacco Products. So Truckin' V YouTube channel, Q Vaping System by Q Vapor, was January 18, 2018. Now, you have to really study these the numbers, the dates, what is said in the videos, the pictures, in order to understand this. The way Digiret has handled itself has been in a very subtle and a very devious way. In fact, a very crafty way, which of course is illegal. There's a lot of fireworks going on out there. I hope they don't burn my house down with all those damn fireworks. You're not supposed to have it within the city limits, but apparently they don't care. It only takes one little spark and goes down your house. But I live in a very like neighborhood watch type of neighborhood, you know, and they're going to be calling the cops soon, I'm sure. Anyway, so if you can understand this, you have to go by the date of the video and then what is included in the video. And you have a picture here, and I include all the other pictures. Now I resize these pictures to fit into this Word document, but the attachments or the full pictures that the FDA will see, and we'll have no problem seeing those particular pictures. So then I do an explanation. So the above video shows a model number much different than the one I will speak to shown below. Model number VS2-102, year of 2017. Then the Ready Set G Dash YouTube channel, and you see it, was May 26, 2017, and 3 milligrams in the package at that time stamp. An explanation Ready Set G Dash states that the e-liquid is at 3 milligrams, which is different as we move forward back in time. And Sundays and Flip F Dash YouTube channel shows Q Vapor System hardware in pink, and I give the timestamp. Leave that low. It's okay. And explanation Sundays and Flip F Dash shows the device in pink, which is different as we move farther back in time. And Tia V Dash YouTube channel, and you see it. So what she says in this is rather interesting. So she says introducing new flavors, and then I give the timestamp, and then wish it came in pink, and I give the timestamp and the link. So it says explanation Tia V states wish it came in pink, as opposed to the video above that shows the device in a pink color. Also, she states that the e-liquid comes in 0, 3, 5, and 6, which is different as we move farther back in time. Also, she states introducing new flavors, which we'll see below in reference to the Q Vapor System own website, which lists 13 flavors, as opposed to the 10 in the videos shown below, plus the names and or ingredients of the e-liquid's flavors change. And then in Havoc NK Dash YouTube channel, and shows 10 flavors shown on video, and then give the timestamp. So he's showing as where the mouse is at, the 10 flavors over here, and yet here you have the model number over here where the mouse is at, and it says 2015. Explanation Havoc NK Dash shows 10 boxes of different types of flavors as opposed to Q Vapor System website, which show 13 flavors as shown below. Also, the model number is different than the one shown previously on January 18, 2018. That model number was VS2-102, year of 2017, yet this herein one is model number V1001-102 in 2015. And then Smo Dash, he states they, meaning Digiret Incorporated, only sell 0 and 5 milligram right now. And he reads off all of the flavors that he has, and you see it there. And he's showing the boxes. And then I have an explanation. I say Smo Dash shows 10 boxes of different types of flavors as opposed to Q Vapor System website, which show 13 flavors as shown below. Also, he states the e-liquid only comes in 0 milligrams and 5 milligrams nicotine, as opposed to the previous video above that states 0 milligrams, 3 milligrams, 5 milligrams, 6 milligrams. Also, Smo dash never mentions apple, peach, berry, chocolate banana, orange whip, blueberry donut, as opposed to Q vapor system website shown below. And so as of July 5th of 2019, it shows all these flavors and all of these milligrams of nicotine. Let me just sort of change that just a slight bit. And it says explanation Q vapor system website states there are 13 flavors in nicotine strengths of 0 milligram, 3 milligram, 6 milligram, which are completely different than all the above cited videos. And the flavors are different as opposed to, oh, well, you didn't see that, but I guess it's too late. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, as opposed to Smokey's video. But I'm sure Smokey don't mind. Anyway, and so it says the above videos and website show that over a period of years, that is specifically before August 8, 2016 and post August 8, 2016, the Q vapor system changed or modified and or introduced new tobacco products in different nicotine strengths in an array of flavors, and the hardware pink was added as a color. In order for this company, Digiret Incorporated and E Alternative Solutions LLC, to make such changes to the e-liquids and hardware, either an exemption from substantial equivalence and or a pre-market tobacco application under federal statute, are required to be submitted to the Food and Drug Administration post August 8, 2016. Digiret Incorporated and E Alternative Solutions LLC failed to do this, thereby violating the Family Smoking Prevention Tobacco Control Act of 2009, as well as the FDA final rule. In accordance with the Food and Drug Administration website, under Establishment Registrations Tobacco, the company Digiret Incorporated and the alternative Digiret is unlisted. Also, in accordance with the Food and Drug Administration website, under Establishment Registrations Tobacco, the company E Alternative Solutions LLC and the alternative E Alternative Solutions is unlisted. In accordance with the Food and Drug Administration website, under tobacco product listings, the product line, that is hardware and e-liquids, Q vapor system and the alternative Q vapor is unlisted. California Secretary of State, under business entities, either corporation name or LP/LLC, Digiret Incorporated and the alternative Digiret or Q vapor system is unlisted. Connecticut Secretary of State, under business entities, E Alternative Solutions LLC is listed. Date of registration February 21st, 2019, and commence business date January 1st, 2019. Business identification number 1299894. Business type foreign limited liability company. Citizenship state incorporated foreign/DE, which stands for, of course, Delaware. As of July 5th, 2019, there are no new tobacco products being reviewed and are granted to be on the U.S. markets and its territories regarding the Q vapor system and or any electronic nicotine delivery system, except Philip Morris IQOS. Specifically, there are no pre-market tobacco product applications, substantial equivalence, and or exemption for substantial equivalence under the Food and Drug Administration's website, quote, tobacco product marketing orders, unquote, regarding the Q vapor system. So they are the facts, and now here are the laws, the statutes anyway. And as usual, you could just read it, pause the page and read it. And then it talks about the exemption for substantial equivalence. Most of the products that the Digigret / alternative solutions have on the market mainly need a exemption for substantial equivalence. As far as these new flavors, they need to have a pre-market or PMTAs, pre-market tobacco applications on those particular flavors. The color they added as far as the hardware is concerned, the pink is a new color. After August 8, 2016, what they need to do is just have it's a modification, so therefore it's cosmetic. You understand, hopefully you understand that. So all they need is a exemption for substantial equivalence. As far as the nicotine strengths, that's a little dicey. They might be able to get away with an exemption for substantial equivalence, or they may have to do a PMTA on them. But meanwhile, they have to remove these particular products they have on the market, actually off the market, in order to either have a exemption from substantial equivalence and or a PMTA. I don't see that happening until the FDA actually issues an FDA warning letter to Digigret, because that's who's going to get probably the FDA warning letter is Digigret. When they receive that, then they would have to remove these particular products off the market. Anyway, so you see it on the page. And some more statutes for you. Laws. And then some definitions. Legal terms, that is, under the federal statutes in regards to the FD&C Act, Tobacco Act as well. Tobacco Control Act. And then I say, I do realize the United States Food and Drug Administration, as well as the Center for Tobacco Products, are undergoing the 2019 National Youth Tobacco Survey. So I do not expect the FDA or the CTP to act on this complaint in the short term, unless the FDA and CTP deems it appropriate to do so. But in the very least, the FDA and the CTP will have this information regarding Digigret Incorporated, Q Vapor System product line, and E Alternative Solutions LLC on file in case the FDA and or the CTP decides to enforce the pre-market tobacco application statutes and or exemption for substantial equivalence pathway that is new and minor modification tobacco products. And then you could read the rest. You could pause the page and read. And as I certify that the above statements are true to the best of my knowledge and belief, I further state that if any of the above statements made by me are maliciously false, I'm subject to punishment by law. So, this hopefully answers a lot of the questions that Matt was having. I was having this like back and forth with him for some time in the comment section. And finally, he heeded to my suggestion, that is, let me put up this video, take a look at it, and then we could talk about it again. And he actually honored that request of mine, and that was pretty cool of him. As I told him in the comment section, this has nothing to do at all with Matt from Suck My Mod or Matt from SMM. Has absolutely nothing to do with him. It was Chris Howard that uttered those particular words. And by the way, let me pause this real quick and do something. And thank goodness I was thinking along those terms, because I almost forgot to put in the particular line that Chris Howard actually stated on Matt's show. Once again, I don't hold Matt at all responsible for the words or actions on the part of Chris Howard, who's attorney at law. That's on him and or the company that he works with or for or is a part of. So what I did was, now I have a separate Word document in regards to that, but that's beside the point. So I put asterisks next to Chris Howard's name And so at the bottom of the page, it says Chris Howard, Vice President, General Counsel, Chief Compliance Officer of E Alternative Solutions LLC, stated on July 1st, 2019, YouTube channel, quote, August 8th, 2016 was the last day a new product should enter the U.S. market. I don't think we ought to break the law, unquote. Well, he's a part of this. In what capacity? No idea. But he should know better, especially considering he's the general counsel and he's the chief compliance officer. Maybe he's not aware of all this stuff. You know, I mean, this stuff, a lot of it has to do with exemption from substantial equivalence. So it's minor modifications. But to the FDA, it still matters. It matters very much. Like the stuff that Dimitri and the vaping Greek and Phil Brizzotto is doing with modifying, taking old products of Inikin and modifying something different, making them different. Maybe they're making them better, so be it, but they're modifying it, changing it to a different way, in a different way after August 8, 2016, and therefore they need an exemption from substantial equivalence. They need that. You have to, and like the law says very clear. It's not like the law is not speaking to it. The law is very clear, and that's where Chris Howard should know better. It says right here, before legally marketing your product, you must obtain written notification that FDA has granted the product an exemption from demonstrating substantial equivalence. In addition, at least 90 days before commercially marketing the product, you must submit a report notifying FDA of your intention to do so and establishing that your product is covered by a granted exemption. And as like I stated, a little over here, there is ample, and I showed it in a separate video in regards to substantial equivalence, PMTAs, exemption of substantial equivalence. There is no product at all in the entire Food and Drug Administration, Center for Tobacco Products, but especially Food and Drug Administration's database that shows anything that says anything like Digigret or says E Alternative Solutions, or says Q Vapor System, or even Q Vapor. Nothing in there at all. And it would show up in that database. It's public knowledge, automatically shows up. So Chris Howard should know better. He should know better. But, you know, he figured in his head that the audience that Matt has will not scrutinize him, whatsoever, not even a tiny bit, not even a tiny bit. But meanwhile, I'm listening to it and scrutinizing every single solitary word that's coming out of his mouth. And even though he got, like I said to Matt, and I said when I did the Will You Wind Up on the Channel Award 2019 in regards to Matt from SMM or Suck My Mod, in regards to Chris Howard, when Chris Howard was on that July 1st, 2019 show, I said 98% of what he stated was right on. But this little thing here, when he stated this, he stated August 8th, 2016 was the last day a new product should enter the U.S. market. I don't think we ought to break the law. These are his exact words, quote unquote. So I said to myself, look, let me take a look over at the Vapor Technology Association and see exactly what kind of products he's involved in. And so I started to look. And then I started to look some more about this Q Vapor system. And it took me some time to understand this because it has a history to it. It's been around, Digigret has been around for a long time. I think they've been around since like 2012 or thereabouts. They got patents on their products. They got patents pending still on their products, even to this day. They're a huge company. They've been around for a while. So, but when I was doing all this research and looking throughout all these databases, I'm realizing, holy crap, something doesn't make sense. Because when I was reading the entire patent, and I tell you, this patent is extremely long. I mean, it's like 60, 70 pages long as far as all their patents are concerned. And even some patents I'd even look at. They have many other patents that penned and that they reference. They reference even Han Lick's own patents. I mean, it just goes on forever. And that's why they have patent attorneys, because patent attorneys are well aware of pretty much everything that pens out there anyway, for the most part. And they have like summaries of each patent. They could just pull that up on a whim, and they understand what's going on. Anyway, so I'm reading all this and I'm thinking, wait, hold it here. Okay, we have patents, but they're also patent pending. And I was reading these patents and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, let me take a look and see if there's an actual history on YouTube. And there were several videos. There were over about 20 videos I had to go through. And then I found these particular videos that I honed in on. And I had to watch them and watch them and watch them over and over and over. And then I realized, holy crap. Digigret, E Alternative Solutions, LLC, are actually violating federal statute because of these minor modification as well as these e-liquids, these new flavors that they have. Some of them are maybe possibly renamed, but there are a few flavors that are absolutely different before August 8, 2016 and after August 8, 2016. Absolutely different. And those particular e-liquids need to have PMTAs on them. And then as far as the pink mod is concerned, that just needs that's a minor modification. That's a cosmetic, it's paint or whatever they put on there. Paint heated on there or however it's going, whatever's going on there. Anyway, that's a minor modification. That's exemption for substantial equivalence. But even though it's minor, the FDA takes it in a major way, so to speak. They don't, especially when they see they have multiple products on the market that need multiple modification or exemption for substantial equivalence, multiple ones. They need not just one, but multiple ones. Plus, on these e-liquids, they need to have pre-market tobacco applications on them, which they have failed to do. So here you are. I put it together. It took me some time. It took me about 3 days or so. I never did get that email back from Q Vapor System, and I did not expect to, because no matter what they say, it's just going to incriminate them even more. So it's best just to remain quiet. And that's what in fact, that's what I expected. Meanwhile, for the last 3 days or so, I've been working on this. It wasn't like, well, let's see if they respond and then I'll start doing something. No. The great thing about the legal field is not so much what you're doing, but what your opponent is doing. If you know what the opponent's going to do before the opponent even does it, then, well, any lawyer will tell you, you win the game. That's the whole key. It's not so much to know what you're doing with your case, but to anticipate what the other side will do. Beat them to the end there, and they're like, holy crap, I didn't expect that. What kind of strategy is that? You knew my case before even I did. But that, of course, comes through a lot of analyzing, a lot of strategizing, a lot of knowing the law, knowing theory, and all kinds of having the facts, things like that, and then you really put it all together, and you really, it forms a picture, and you could see what the other side's going to do, or not only what they're going to do, but what they can do. And once you realize all that, then, well, it's easy peasy to the finish line. Just have to put a good legal argument together, and you're in like Flynn, so to speak. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, but so here you are, Matt, and like I said, has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. You did a very good show that day, except for a couple things a little wrong, and I corrected them. And then it was Chris Howard that, he's the one who said the line. And then I just took it from there. He's the one who said that particular line, or a couple lines. August 8, 2016 was the last day a new product should enter the U.S. market. I don't think we ought to break the law. He's the one who said that. It wasn't like, Matt had a gun to his head, or forced him to say that, or hypnotized him to say that, or, put him under some kind of deep sleep and made him come true at a flick of a switch, and then he says it. No, that was Chris Howard's own words. And when he said that, I said to myself, let me take a look. Let's see how real this guy is. And then I pull all this information up. No one else would think. Like I told you, I'm an intelligent guy. I expect those that watch my videos to be intelligent, to be objective, to understand an issue thoroughly, to do your research, to thoroughly understand what's going on here. And then you make your move. And now I wash my hands of all this. It's up to the Food and Drug Administration to do their thing. And I will move on to the Food and Drug Administration complaint number 9. I'm in the process of putting that together, but I have to wait until it actually launches. It's sort of, there's teasers going around on certain channels, in fact, on one specific channel, but once it hits the markets, then I got number 9, and I'm sure I'm going to have number 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way up. So anyway, I just want to share this with you. Sorry it took a little long, but just want to share your thoughts on it. Share my thoughts on what's going on here. And once again, Matt, nothing against you, man. You've been acting like a real gentleman, and I've been attempting to act like a real gentleman around you. I know that's surprising to hear to your ears, especially in the comment section. And but this needs to be done, and I did it. And I am going to, in another 41 minutes, I will submit this to the FDA. And then I'll do a Food and Drug Administration complaint number 8 filed video, and then that will be it. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.